The end-time prophets are out in full force this week. Not only is it the liberal conspiracy Irma finished crashing into Florida this week and ruining a lot of extremely expensive real estate that us fine taxpayers are going to have to foot the bill to get back into running order, but now Jose and Katia are hot on its heels. This, of course, comes after Houston got this shit kicked out of it. I mean, proper fucked by Hurricane Harvey. Instead of people flocking to the obvious explanation for these natural disasters, such as, climate change and that hurricanes are just the thing that happens naturally. The reason they call it a fucking natural disaster. No, instead we get government officials who've been warned time and time again that these storms are just going to keep getting bigger and much worse as the oceans continue to warm up due to the emissions that are put out by us asshole humans as we can't seem to get it through our superior-sized thick skulls. That being reliant on coal, oil, natural gas, and all those other non-renewable things are simply unsustainable and are quickly driving us to an extinction event. They won't listen. The time is never right to have the discussion, and they simply don't want to listen to science as that would mean that their God really isn't there, and he isn't going to swoop in at any time to save them at the last moment or save us from ourselves. Now, I'm not advocating that we treat science with the same reverence as someone here locally has the idea that there were horses in America, before the Spanish arrived. That's something the Mormons believe. We should be wary of treating science as some sort of new religion. Unlike their sets of dogma and scripture that are infallible and unchanging with time, science is at least capable of correcting itself, asking harder and harder questions, and essentially is completely willing to be challenged to do better than it was before. Also in the news this week, there was that magnitude 8.1 earthquake in southern Mexico. That was in the most original definition of the word, terrible. For a fault line to have been moved 32 feet is no small feat. Yeah, pun there. That's a shitload of energy being expended to move some rocks around. Not just any rocks. Those are the rocks that are the only home that we know. We merely live on top of these rocks. And as we've seen with hurricanes, if this world doesn't want you around, it has no problem removing you. So back to the point of the prophets that are claiming that this is a series of signs and portents that humankind's time on the planet may be at an end. Well, they may not be too far off, and before you go, what, X, have you lost your damn mind? Now just hear me out. Their religions say that we're going to die because of how we've angered their petulant gods with all of our homosex and shaking off of gender stereotypes, and if you're partial to hetero coupling, having sex before marriage, how about that? He's so goddamn mad with us, see what I did there, that he wants to kill us even though he loves us so much, which is something I've never been able to understand at all. No, what I'm saying is that we're definitely working hard as we can to off ourselves. There's only so much damage that this earth can sustain at the hands of man before it starts killing us in return. Now, I'm not saying the planet itself is going to somehow be personified like Ego from Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2 and hunt us down one by one. I'm talking about certain balances within this biosphere that, once tilted too hard in one direction, will spell utter catastrophe for not only humans, but all life on the planet, in what we call an extinction event. Some say we're amidst one right now, but I like to hold out hope that we'll eventually get our heads screwed on right and start making drastic changes to how things are done on this planet. It's not a radical statement to say that this organic spaceship that we live on is pretty fucking rad, because let's face it, it really is. We're the water in the puddle, loving the shape of the puddle that fits us so perfectly, which of course there's reasoning for, because, we came out of it. That's a Douglas Adams reference for anybody that doesn't know that one. But this place is damn rad. And I don't know about you folks, but I'm damn happy to be alive. So when I hear people claiming that it's the end of the world, and let's face it, there's a lot of them, and they've all been wrong, it bugs me that they don't just stop for a few seconds to take a look around them. They don't marvel at the world, the lasting power of it. I mean, they don't even realize that it'll last longer than them. So they really just need to stop worrying about every goddamn thing. Besides, the Earth isn't worried. to the planet, we're temporal, transitory, soon to be extinct anyway. I mean, after all, in a relative way, that's where we're going. Right?